Alright guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I just feel like talking about my favorite handheld system of all time, the Game Boy. But to start it off, we gotta start at the beginning, so let's get this all out of the way. Sadly, I don't have the original Game Boy, but I do. This was the first one that I have had, the Game Boy Color. And let's just go over, I guess, the features of it. This is an old system. I don't remember when they were released. Does it say a date? 1998, I believe. I believe that's right. It's quite old. You can see it's quite used. And this is like the standard purple. And yes, this thing takes AA batteries. So many AA batteries. And the only inputs on this game system are the B button, the A button, the up, right, down, left, and a select and start. There is a volume control. It's just like a cylinder, and you scroll down for volume down, scroll up for volume up. And there is an input for communicating with other Game Boys, which you'd use this cord, if I can grab it into the scene. And then you could actually like battle if it was the correct game, like Pokemon or something, or trade and all that stuff, and it's very cool. And then it also has the power switch, the slot for the actual game that would slide in and locks into place. And yeah, it's a pretty simple device. And it also has right here, I believe, an infrared sensor. Except I really don't know of any games that used it, and I think it was just not the best. Not the best idea they had. And also on the bottom there is, I think, an audio out, but it is, I think, a standard 3.5 millimeter. Why can't I get it to focus? And then right next to it, it says a DC 3-volt in, so that's a very small in charge. So I guess you could probably buy an adapter and play this by a wall if you wanted to. But let's go ahead and turn it on. First without a game and see what happens. The nice little pling, and then it just stays on the Game Boy screen. You got the red light to let you know it's on, and then yeah, very cool, Game Boy. And I'm gonna throw in my favorite game, Pokemon. Definitely my most favorite mobile game ever made. I've played so many hours on this system, and it's just great. One thing you can see right away, the screen is very reflective, and it's not the best to see. That is one of the major flaws of the system. And also, it only has one speaker in the bottom right. And you can see I'm just adjusting the volume up and down, up and down. Anyways, let's just see what it looks like. And they're really this game, it is an older one. You can tell because all of the older games for the original Game Boy have these slits in the corner because the power button used to be up top right here, and you'd slip it, and then a piece of plastic would lock it into place so you couldn't remove it during gameplay. But then they stopped that for the new Game Boy Color, just because the Game Boy Color cartridges, I only have one, don't have it, just so even if you put it inside the old Game Boy, you won't be able to turn it on, so it won't work. So this is what it looks like. It's almost like just a few colors, not that much, but it's still pretty cool. And then I'll check it out later again. And then this is a Game Boy Color game made for it, and it doesn't have these little notches in it. And also pull out these two, a little bit special. And I'll turn on the Game Boy Color game, and we'll see if we notice any difference. Definitely looks darker, and this is like a SpongeBob game. You can definitely see the oranges, very orange. You can definitely see the red in the THQ. Yeah, definitely looks pretty colorful. Definitely very colorful, very cool. So it does live up to its name, Game Boy Color. And yeah, the screen was always a problem, and you could always buy adapters with lights that would shine on it. But usually it would end up just like shine it, like if I shine a light on it, you see that reflection? It would just be pretty much, you'd be staring right at the light bulb. Like that lamp right now, that's what it would look like. You just see the light, and you wouldn't see the screen itself. So that was pretty bad. And yeah, so this is the only Game Boy Color game I own. I really only use this to play the other Game Boy games. This is really quite fun. And these are a little bit different. As you can tell, there is a battery on these. And you might be thinking, why is there a battery on this? And that is because I'll show you in the clear version. Luckily it's clear. There's a little electric motor, and on the, I guess the rod that spins, there's a weight on one side, so it rumbles. And this is like a fishing game, so and this is a pinball game, so it should rumble on certain movements, and you can tell it fits in just perfectly. It's a little bit larger, definitely bigger. Compare it to the regular game. Very interesting, but yeah, this was cool. Just adds another dimension, kind of like the N64 Rumble Pack. And does it not want to load? There we go. I just want to see if it rumbles. And this does look quite colorful. I'm not sure if this is a Game Boy Color game or not, but I don't think so. What does this say? Game start. These screens are notorious for just being awful. Yeah, there should have been a rumble there. I really like this Pokemon pinball. Yeah, there's no rumble. It's a shame. The battery must have died, but you can easily just open it and replace it, and yeah, you're good to go. And I also have this. And then after the Game Boy Color came out, the next system was, I'm going to take out some batteries, let's do some swapping, was the Game Boy Advanced. I personally never bought it, so I'm going to be borrowing my brother's. And this is what it looked like. It also did run on AA batteries again. A little bit different looking, and it looks a lot more ergonomic to the hand. Let me just close this up. And yeah, it's pretty much the same, except they introduced two new buttons, the left and a right trigger. And this is the input for like the trade and like light accessories and stuff. And very cool. And their games also began to come in smaller sizes. Pretty much, I'll set this down for now, pretty much about half the size of a regular game. So that was pretty cool. It made the advancements, and there is still a single speaker, a B and A button, the joypad. It's a little bit nicer, and some soft plastic start and select buttons. And there's the regular audio jack, the volume control, if I can get it to focus. It's right here, and it's just still a scroll wheel again. And this is the power button. And it looks like you could thread a key in there, a keychain. And then you turn it on. It's a green power light instead of a red one. It's a little bit more pleasing on the eye. Makes you think you're going to have a good time instead of seeing the red light and think, oh no, bad. So that's what happens. You just turn it on. Shows the same exact screen. I believe the screen is just a tiny bit wider. And yeah. So let's go ahead and try Pokemon. It is backwards compatible. Even the game sticks out quite a bit, but that's perfectly fine. And then I'll turn it on. And then you can see that this is the normal size of the Game Boy screen. And I'm pretty sure if I left click, yeah, you see that? It fills it up to the normal size. It just, it stretches it. But this screen is also notorious for shining light. So it's hard to tell. Like if I shine one of those lamps at it, you can barely tell what's going on. It's just the way that they make these. And they pick up scratches, and it's just no fun. But still, it's a great system. And just the volume and stuff, have just so much fun with it. And now let's try a Game Boy Advance game. Pokemon Emerald. And if you can see with this, it fits in there quite flush, very nice right on the system. Just throw it in your pocket and go. And turn it on, and let's just see. Let's just see. See if it looks upgraded or anything different. And maybe it didn't want to load. Uno momento. Give it a little blow, maybe, possibly. There we go. Sometimes you do have to blow out the cartridges because they are pin connectors, and you have to make sure they have good contact. It does look like a lot better quality. It looks like more pixels and just not as blocky. So it is improved quality with these smaller cartridges. And also this game came with like a wireless adapter, which would plug in like so. And I'm not sure if it emitted Bluetooth or like infrared or something like that. Kind of an upgrade to this thing. And I'm not sure what it connected to or wireless, but somehow it was incorporated with some games, and it was an interesting thing to include. Alright, and then now that I went over the Game Boy Advanced, we are done with the AA batteries. Many AA batteries perished underneath the arms of myself playing these games. And then next we get to the Game Boy Advanced SP. When this came out, I jumped at it. Like I said, I never purchased this, my brother did, but when this came out, boom, right away I bought this. And the reason is why is because it's the first system with a backlight. You can clearly tell that it is like 1,000 times better to see. Very nice. So let's do a quick little inspection. It is like a little shinier, and it lost the purple color that this has. Well, I guess purpley, a little less purpley, and then blue pretty much. But yeah, and it folds in half, kind of like a cell phone thing. It does have the bumpers. Left bumper, right bumper. This is the power cord. I will show you that now because this, no more AA batteries for this one. It actually comes with a chargeable battery. Good for them. Here's the power cord. It folds out. I always like to say use a grounded cord when you're using electronics you like. Actually, this is the wrong one. This is for the DS. This is the correct one. But I like to say always use a grounded cord. But clearly there's not a ground in here, but it won't be a problem. So I'll go ahead and try not to tip the camera and plug it in and show what happens. And it's a very interesting power cord. Definitely have to buy it from them. It's proprietary to them, and it shows it's charging. And right here is the cartridge slot, and it is also backwards compatible with the original Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games, which is awesome. That's the reason I bought it, so I could play my Pokemon Blue on a backlit screen without having to worry about night. Because when it came nighttime, you really couldn't play these. It was like game over. And this time, the volume is not a scroll button. It is like a nice slider with a very nice smooth action. And yeah. And also the buttons are a little bit indented just so it is flush with the machine. And like it won't rub aggressively on the screen. It's very nice. Little pads here to cushion the impact. And it just says the left bumper, right bumper, the B8, the D-pad, selected start, and the only new addition is that button, the backlight button. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the Pokemon and turn it on. And you can see this is the original size, and this is the stretch size, kind of like the Advanced. And it is quite, maybe about the same size as the Advanced, but it folds in half. But when it folds in half, it still plays no matter what. And it's very nice. So I'm going to just check out, I guess I'm going to just check out what my Pokemon are doing like. I'm going to hit continue. It says I have 165 hours on this. Dang, a lot of hours and a lot of childhood. And the Pokemon I have is Mewtwo, Mew, Articuno, Moltres, and Electabuzz. So I did do the Mew glitch where you can catch Mew, and I also did catch Missingo. I'm not sure on this cartridge or this one, and it does duplicate your items, so that was a lot of fun too. And this is honestly my favorite handheld game I've ever had, and it's just beautiful, and I wanted to be able to play it on a lighted screen, so that's why I bought this system right away. Very cool. Awesome. So I'll go ahead and just shut that off. And then the next system that I'm going to talk about is the next one in line, the Nintendo DS. But I personally didn't get the first Nintendo DS because I had no reason to get it. But then something happened. I heard of a new game was coming out, Pokemon Diamond. The thing was, I really only played 2 Pokemon games. I've only played this one a lot. This one, I beat it a few times, and then I skipped all the way to this. So I skipped Silver and all those in between. And this I actually bought recently last year, so I haven't even begun to play it yet. But yeah, so then I got the DS Lite because I decided I needed to get it for Pokemon Diamond when it came out. I also got Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. It's a different kind of game, but yeah, it's interesting, it's alright, but this game I really dig a lot. And this system is quite different from all the others. It does have the flip design, but first let's go over the exterior. It's very shiny, and it will pick up smudges and probably scratches if you're not careful. It does have a left and right bumper. This charger I will show you, I was showing before. It looks very similar. And I'll go ahead and plug this in. And then I will plug it into the power. And there we go, it's charging. This does look like you might think it's a micro USB, but it is not a micro USB. It's a little bit bigger, and I think these came out before micro USBs were even around. And the games itself are quite small. They almost look like flash cards for like a digital camera, and they just slide in the top. This here, I believe, is for attachments maybe, or you put a lanyard through it. This right here is the audio out, and let's get it to focus. Come on. Is the audio out and a mic in. For some device it looks like it would fit for both, some sort of mic device. And this bass part right here actually comes out, and it is compatible but only with Game Boy Advance games. As you can see in the Game Boy Advance, there's these little cutouts right here. Compare it to a Game Boy game, there is no cutouts there, so sadly these won't fit in, but Game Boy Advance game will fit in. It does protrude out a little bit. That's really not that big of a deal. And this is the volume button. It is a nice little slider. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and power it on and see what it's all about. And it does come with a stylus, because I will show you, because I've never opened it yet, that this is a Y, X. These are new buttons they added, and they also have the original B and A, and then the same D-pad with a really nice action to it. It has a start and a select button, and then instead of one screen, it has two screens. Instead of one speaker, it now has two speakers. So it is a big upgrade. And this one is actually a touch screen. And this right here is a little bit of a little microphone. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see what it's all about. Nintendo DS, you can tell right away that the screen is quite brighter and quite nicer. Very cool. Gotta love it. And it just shows the date and the time, and I believe that's correct actually. Very cool. And right here, since I have a game inserted, it says play start GBA game or play Pokemon Diamond. So let's just try what happens when I try to play a Nintendo game. I mean the Game Boy game. It plays on the screen very nice. This is like the brightest, best screen that they have so far. And this is the Nintendo DS Lite. I never got into the 3D, and you can really see it clearly now in the camera. 10 times better than even the SP, but I still usually use the SP for those sort of things. And yeah, very cool. I have 19 hours on this game. Very good game, and yeah. Well, I don't want to mess up anything, but yeah, very cool. Then I'll just power it off. I'll remove this cartridge, and I'll replace it with this. There is some sort of circuit board in here, but I don't think it does anything. I just think it keeps the pins clean. I'll go ahead and power it on, and then I will try to see what Pokemon Diamond looks like. The reason why I bought this nice system. And then I'll click go. So this was a very interesting thing. They added a touchpad, and this also has wireless. So like you don't need the cord anymore to trade or play with your friends. It's all wireless, which is very cool. And it is dual screens. And for the DS games, it's perfectly fine. And if you can see, I've played quite a bit on this too. 169 hours. Go ahead and select it and just see what's up. Actually, let's see if I remember how to play. I just want to check out my Pokemon. How do I even work this? Pokemon. Oop, Pokemon. I got a Mewtwo, a Charizard, a Drachia. Oh man, I forgot I had to do the glitch to get him. A Blastoise, a Pidgeotto, and this other like mythic Pokemon or something. I forgot what it's called. But actually, to get that one Darkia Pokemon, I'll explain that real quick. I had to equip, and first you can tell right away that it looks very nice. And then they also integrate this like this is your like Pokedex or something. I don't know. You can like scribble on here and do whatever. Very interesting. And just the game itself, there's like 3 dimensions instead of flat. But the trick I did to get that one Darkia Pokemon, I'm still not used to these controls. haven't played them. To get this guy was actually this thing called like tweaking, I believe it was. And it was when you would equip your bicycle. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Well, I'm sure I won't get it onto the first time. And you have to find an area where it changes. Okay, right here. You see how it changed from Route 202 to Jubilife City? 202 Jubilife City. So like right here is a loading point for the game, and once you pass it, it starts to load that. So what you do is you try to make it the bike go crazy input, and spin it in every direction to overload the system. And then when you cross over, hopefully you cross over when spinning enough that it fails to load the whole section correctly. Sometimes it will work, and it usually honestly took me hours, but sometimes like just the trees will be there, sometimes the people will be gone, sometimes just the grass will be there. But if you do it correctly, you just like do crazy movements, and then you show up, and then usually it's like white area, maybe there'll be a person or a sign, and then what you do is you follow an online guide. There's like a step counter in here, I think, I don't remember, and then it's like a white area, and you can actually walk through the walls, and you go like 100 steps south, and then like 200 steps west, and then like 10 steps north, and then you like turn it off, save it, and then restart it, and you like end up on the island to get that Pokemon. It was a very interesting thing. It took quite a while. I don't know, I just felt like talking about that. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and turn off the system. Oh yeah, and another thing with this system, no, I should have done that, but like when you close it, it goes into like a hibernate mode. Like if you turn this one on and close it, the game plays no matter what, and you open it up and it just resumes exactly right where it was. So that was very cool, and you could just like, you didn't have to worry about having to save it. You could just like stop it and it would hibernate, and it would be very nice. Very cool. So overall, I just felt like talking about my favorite handheld systems, and I really enjoyed them a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you had any favorite Game Boy games, I'd love to hear about it, or any experiences with Game Boy, I'd also love to hear about it. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and take it easy.